Hello fellow academics and welcome back to the Community Build-Off Challenge on the island of Elba. This is Academia Nova and I think it's looking really nice. There are a couple of things that I want to focus on in this particular episode. This is number 3 for those of you who haven't seen 1 and 2. Go ahead and check it out. But what we want to do in this episode is focus on addressing some of our needs as usual. And I think this stream here, or that canal, actually needs a little bit of love. I think this would be an amazing amenity if we had a pedestrian pathway on either side of the stream. So that is what we're going to build in this episode. Additionally, we're going to start utilizing some of that area over here for some of our office demand, and gonna do some significant soil work in our industrial area. So without further ado, we're gonna start with actually just the soil work. So let's go. Alright, now it's time to zone in some of our industrial. And we're just trying to maximize a little bit the amount of space we have without overdoing it. Now we do have a traffic jam over here. I think overall this one might be a good one. It's actually just maybe just part of the... No, it's not just part because of the pedestrians. The pedestrians don't help, but they're not causing big issues here. Let's put in a roundabout. There's enough traffic from all sides that this should hopefully speed it all up a little bit. And with that, we're gonna leave our industry area and move on to our high density buildings. We will assume that, you know, there was enough need, so we would actually carve into, or it became worth it to carve into the mountainside. All right, with that done, we are in the middle of the night, but it is also time for us to focus on that little canal. So what I was thinking is we pick our pedestrian street, and I wish they had a smaller one, but they do not. So we'll take it as it is. And then we're going to build a pedestrian pathway on both sides. With the pedestrian path on both sides, we do need to figure out how to bridge over this. And the way we're going to do is we're actually going to expand that canal a little bit. However, I've tried this in the past, creating bridges over areas like this, and it was painful. But I have found there's a relatively easy trick. So we're going to use the level terrain tool, and stay with me for this. For now, we're just gonna fill up our little ditch over here, and we're gonna go into our regular road. Not too big. Actually, we could probably, let's not overdo it. We're going down, not 10 meters. We're just going down 5 meters. And then we're placing the road, no curve, placing the road right there. Now this has created a subterranean road over here. So obviously we do not want that. So for now, I'm going to give us a little bit more space. Putting these back in shouldn't be too much trouble. But with that in here, we can actually go to the other side, put in a regular road and just drag it over there. And I swear it has worked before, but I might need to remove this part as well. So let's try this again. Oh, that had actually just worked. Need to this part. Don't know why it's still snapping to this, even though I had turned off the guidelines. Start from here. Trying to keep it as straight as possible. We have a bridge. Now we just need to make sure. Okay, doesn't seem to be popping up. Let's remove this one as well. And I swear it works. Stay with me. Here we go. And with that, we have a beautiful little bridge in here that we can utilize, and just delete this one underneath away from it. And then we can just extend our ditch again. Let me quickly connect it all up and follow through with this along this entire pedestrian pathway. And then we're going to talk some more. Alright, with that, we have sorted out all the bridges. It was a little bit finicky, but overall it worked. So we have now 3 bridges over here, but we kind of removed that ditch. So let's go ahead and put it back in. Alright, and with that, we have water in here again. It is slowly creeping up. But that's kind of to be expected. I left a little bit of green area on either side of this, and I think we might just fix some of these things up. But overall, I think it's looking okay. Let's actually have also a quick look if we cannot create like additional... Oh, that seems to be easy enough. So a little bit of bridges, pedestrian bridges. Just to be clear, to help wrap all of this up and make it look even nicer and also just a bit more functional. kind of need to connect this one up here as well. And then we're gonna have one more at the very front. If we get to. And doesn't look. It doesn't help that it is pitch black right now. That's actually should be able to fix this in the long run, but for now, you know what? Let's just leave it. Part of this doesn't quite look ideal. We could push this further back, but overall, I honestly don't mind it too much. The next thing we can do though is feather it out a little bit. So I'm gonna do that quick. And this will do. Here we go. As I mentioned before, the water is coming. Oh, I think I closed this up. So let's quickly fix that. But the water is coming back in, which is nice to see. And this will become a great amenity for all of our people. As look at this guy or her. Just taking a stroll right next to the river. Beautiful. Right, let's not focus on that now. We're gonna do that a little bit later. But overall, great start. With that, we're on to the next part, and that is looking for additional area for our office buildings. Now, all of this would actually be highly desirable, and we could even put in office buildings all the way over here. We're like on the pedestrian path. So for now, we're just going to extend this a little bit further. I'm gonna leave that stop in. I'm gonna just make sure that we have a road that is approximately parallel to our pedestrian paths along the river. Next thing we're going to do is just a bit of zoning. Alright, with that we have well expanded our area to the other side of the river, and I think, or I shouldn't call it a river, little canal. And with that, I think, opened up basically the entire area right here for future developments. We're not gonna plaster it all with things right away. Instead, what we're going to focus on before we're gonna do a little bit more landscaping is our additional need for industry. Overall, our finances are starting to look okay. Not great, but okay. But yeah, that's just how this game works. All right, let's see where we can actually put down a few more industrial areas. And I think I found one in this corner right here. So if we were to build a road up this way, we can flatten out this entire plateau here for additional industry. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. First, we're gonna make sure we have a relatively smooth pathway up here. And we're taking a bit of a sledgehammer approach to this part right here. But I'm trying not to overdo it. with that, we have additional space for, well, additional industry, and that's exactly what we're gonna zone in. Alright, I've done a little bit of whack-a-mole and almost forgot to keep talking. We removed a bunch of the unoccupied buildings. Now, I had a quick look at the happiness, and the high crime rate and unreliable healthcare coverage are actually detrimental. So for now, we're gonna set healthcare and police back to 100%. Hopefully that will increase the happiness of our people. And I think it will. We're also having a bit more industry demand, which, you know, happy to zone some more, because we do have the space now. Alright, we are back. Still an issue with the high crime rate. So we could add more police vehicles, but based on our current financial situation, I don't know if that is the right way to go. I think what we really need to figure out is how to increase the ability of our citizen to go to college and so on and so on, although we do not have the money to actually deal with that. However, as you can see, we're very close to being in the green with our budget. It is actually going back down. People are still moving in. And it's going back down by much, much more. All right. However, I should actually first of all remove those paths. I think what we're going to do is a little bit of landscaping and then do a quick recap of what we have done. Right, as I was in the middle of decorating, I just noticed we are out of power. So we need more power supply. Which means power station overloaded. There are a couple of things that we can do. We can increase our rotor system or our solar assist. Now, this is during daytime. However, this should be throughout the day. So I think we are going to use the advanced rotor system. I think that should help us ultimately. even though it did cost us quite a bit of money. However, we're also making more money, so very exciting. We're finally in the green. All right, back to landscaping. And we made it to Tiny Town. And you know what? I'm gonna leave it there. So, quick recap. What have we done? We have created a new corner of our industry, started to expand even further into the hills. We have expanded our low-rent housing area, which both of that is very good. But I think the best part is we have given this creek a proper placement in our community, expanding it a little bit, and ultimately given our citizens a place to walk at the end of the day or on the weekend. So I'm very excited about this. Let me know in the comments what you think. And so there's only one thing left to do, and that is take a proper walk through that pedestrian area. With that, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.